The phone rang through the silence in my ranch house, ringing out off the big walls. I had just come in from giving the horses some grain, and dust remained in the wrinkles of my jeans. I thought it was a neighbor or maybe my brother on the phone. Instead, I was faced with a cold, clipped voice. "Mr. Carter?" it said. "Speaking," I replied, hands rubbing against my legs. "Hello, this is attorney James Vaughn. I'm representing Mrs. Lorraine Baxter. She insists that you vacate your property within 30 days. Her son Ethan intends to take his family there. You have no choice. We're prepared to file proceedings." My fist tightened, ready to drop the phone. "Excuse me?" I grumbled, thinking I'd heard incorrectly. "Hear clearly," Vaughn growled. "Mrs. Baxter's son is getting married, and your ranch is the perfect spot. Leave voluntarily, or we'll have you removed." I was frozen, staring at the dried mud on my boots. The words stung like a sour joke. "My land isn't in an HOA," I said slowly. "I own it free and clear." Vaughn's expression didn't change. "Mrs. Baxter reports the original deeds are being reviewed, which she asserts gives her HOA some jurisdiction. Hold on for a formal notice to follow." The phone went dead. A dial tone buzzed in my ear. Then I saw her, Lorraine Baxter herself, over the window. Blonde curls, short, immaculately styled. In a blinding neon green tracksuit, she marched across my pasture clipboard, clutched in hand. Trailing behind her were two men in suits who were already gazing at my barn like it was their property. My heart started racing. Evening down the phone, I ripped out of the house. "What in the hell are you doing, Lorraine?" I bellowed. She smiled sugary, like we were exchanging pie recipes. "Just making a few notes for upgrades, Luke," she warbled. "You'll be departing shortly. Must plan for Ethan's future." I stormed out into the yard. One of the suits, a lanky, tall one, was scribbling on a notepad while eyeing my stables, built solid back in 1870. "Hold up right there," I growled. "You're trespassing." Lorraine simply laughed and nodded toward a sign posted at the end of my driveway. "Future home of Ethan James Baxter." My vision turned red. The shorter suit unfolded a blueprint on the hood of his car. They were going to tear down my barn and construct an elegant mansion. That's when a pickup drove up. Ethan jumped out, slick hair and smug grin, holding aloft an engagement ring box. "Luke, thanks for parking the car over to the side, man," he yelled as if we'd been best buddies forever. "Laya and I thank you." I stood frozen, fists balled. I'd sold nothing, signed no damn thing. Ethan walked towards me, outstretched hand as if waiting for a shake. Behind him, Lorraine snapped her fingers, and the suits headed toward my front door. My heart racing, I ran for the porch, boots slamming wood. "Get off my property," I shouted. The suits halted. One had his hand on the doorknob. Lorraine waved them forward with a haughty smile. "You don't own this anymore, Luke," she said. I slammed the door shut and stood in front of it. "One more step, and you'll regret it." The air grew still. Lorraine's smirk fell. Ethan shrugged. "Don't draw it out, old man. You've got a week, maybe two." My knuckles whitened. "You've got 30 seconds before I call the sheriff." Lorraine gasped. Ethan laughed, producing his phone. "Go ahead. Sheriff's on our side." "Lies," I muttered, dialing 911 right in front of them. Lorraine's smile cracked. Ethan's smirk vanished. The suits looked uncomfortable. I was just about to hang up when Lorraine lashed out. "Fine. We're leaving. Today." Ethan growled, "This isn't over," much as they retreated. I stood on my porch until their cars disappeared, dust coating that fucking sign. The ranch returned to its quiet, horses grazing, unaware of the tempest it would unleash. I collapsed onto the steps, legs shaking. Lorraine, a HOA busybody I'd barely met, had just tried to steal my property for her son, aided by threats and legal might. She'd been a neighborhood bully forever, fussing about mailbox color or fence color. But this was war. Her text that night sealed it. "You can't prevent it. Ethan's entitled to that ranch. Get ready to lose." I slept that night with a shotgun beside my bed, one eye always open. Early next morning, I headed to the county records building. Smelled like old paper and burnt coffee. Clerk Sally handed me my file. Deed was plain. Luke Carter, sole owner. No HOA attachment. Relief washed over me, but Sally's next words walled me up. Something tacky blonde came by a few days ago, asking how to transfer your deed to her HOA. Lorraine. I gave her a tough smile. She didn't get very far, I guess. Sally shook her head. This ain't no dictatorship. Armed with those photocopies, I felt bulletproof. Until I got home. A moving truck sat in my driveway. Ethan leaned against it. Lorraine waved a welcome home sign. Boxes, furniture, even a crib emptied out. They thought they were moving in today. You got here just in time, Luke, Ethan teased. Help us unload? Lorraine grinned. We'll name the barn platform after you. My rage bubbled, but I remained calm. You're trespassing, I said, documenting everything. The banner, the truck, Ethan's smug face. Every box here is an insult. Lorraine laughed. Ethan snorted, accusing me of having sold the land. I called the sheriff. 2 cruisers rolled up, lights flashing. Deputy Harris, a friend, watched my tape, face darkening. Leave now or you're under arrest, he told Lorraine. She spluttered about Ethan's rights. Ethan looked at the deputy's gun and moved back fast. Movers scurried, boxes in midair. Lorraine spat out, "This isn't over." When they roared off, banner waving in the dust, I cleaned up their mess. But I knew Lorraine wasn't finished. My dogs ran amok that night. I grabbed my shotgun and flashlight, arrested 2 men near the barn, one carrying a gas can, the other a lighter. I shot a warning shot. They dropped the can and sped away in a truck, tires screeching. My cameras caught their faces. Deputy Harris picked up the can for prints, told me to install more cameras and more dogs. I did both. Night vision cameras, steel barn locks, 2 German shepherds named Titan and Rex. Days after that, I got a letter. Eminent domain. My property seized for public development. The buyer? Victor Crane Enterprises, a company with ties to Lorraine. My stomach sank. Eminent domain was reserved for highways, not luxury houses. But the county didn't care. Director Mr. L smirked at me, self-satisfied. You'll be fairly compensated, he told me. I slammed the letter on his desk. This is my life, and you're giving it to a man who tried to cut it down to embers. His smile turned cold. Prove it. Seething with anger, I took it all. Papers, video, police reports, even yellowed newspaper articles about my great-grandfather's saloon, built after World War I. I took it to KTV News. Reporter Mia Torres listened to every word. A justice bulldog, that one. This is huge, she said to me. Her piece, Rancher Battles Corrupt Developer, went viral. The county exploded. Protests, signs, Save Carter Ranch. Town halls got crazy, officials scrambled. Victor Crane's spin fell apart. His company lost millions. A week later, the eminent domain complaint was dropped. The county publicly apologized. Lorraine went underground, said to be hiding at a cousin's house. Ethan disappeared too. A truck pulled up into my drive one night. An old man, Amos Reed, emerged. My pa knew your great-granddaddy, he said, shaking my hand. He'd be proud. He gave me this. He handed me a bronze medal. Valor. I fought tears back. Thank you. Months later, a blue sedan drove up alongside the gate. Out stepped Leah Baxter, Ethan's ex. I believed Ethan's lies, she confessed, her cheeks flushing with shame. He said you were dying, that you gave us the land. She handed me an envelope, $800,000, from Henry Voss, her father, a lumber baron. This land is yours, Luke. Building rest, no strings. I used it to open Stonefield Acres, a sanctuary for young farmers and vets, named for the ancient stones my great-grandfather had used to build our fences. People came to learn, to heal, to rebuild. Deputy Harris smiled at the opening, watching Victor's tumble and Lorraine's failed lawsuit against the mayor. Under fall stars, I watched kids ride horses, the laughter carried away over the fields. The ranch no longer just mine, belonged to everyone now. A legacy of resolve. Witness that no one can take what you're willing to fight and die for.